Yeah, Banter Bros, Banter Bros, Banter Bros. Yeah, Banter Bros, Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers. Trash talking, who the best? Who make good or bad trades? Who pick the best players? Who got certified game? We just football lovers. Come and join the funny games with the Banter Brothers. Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers. Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers. You're now tuned in to the Banter Brothers with your host, Brian Paulo, and his co-host, Nick Johnson. Coming at you live with this week's fantasy football highlights and trash talk. Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers. Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers, Banter Brothers.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Welcome to Tilt City. This is your co-mayor, Nick Johnson,
Nick
and
Johnson.
co-mayor, Brian Paulo. We're both losing our minds.
Bananas.
Losing our minds. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I got.
That's all you
That's all I
got?
got. I barely survived this entire week. This has been like the worst week of my life.
Yeah.
No,
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing to our friends.
oh, none of them are listening. None of them care.
I think we
They're
got
gonna
one.
get this. They're going to get this at some point, probably, Sunday morning after the trade deadlines pass, and be like, "Oh, I wish I listened to the Banter Brothers and all of their talk leading up." Here we are throwing a Thursday night trade deadline, looking out for all you people, and you guys don't care.
They
You
care.
don't.
They do. They do care.
They don't care. Listen, I went to a visitation last Sunday, and Curtis said, "Thanks, Commish. I'm just doing exactly the opposite of what you say because I'm just winning, and you are a big piece of pile of shit." I'm like,
Yeah. He told me the same thing. I thought that was kind of funny too.
yeah. Well,
maybe he's told me
I mean,
opposite this time.
it's normal. I mean, you should absolutely expect 4 touchdowns from Leonard Fournette and all of these wonderful things. Yeah. So I'm going to actually be giving my advice on the matchup this week, since Curtis is going to do the exact opposite of what I say anyway. I might be able to do a little reverse jinxing, or maybe I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay.
More likely than not. Yeah.
Well, and so when is the trade deadline again? When is
Saturday?
the deadline? Saturday. What time? Trade deadline.
Well, you know what? It's funny. Somebody asked me that. I imagine. I don't think I put a time in it, so I imagine that it's
Midnight.
Yeah. It's the 4th. So it's once the 4th is over.
The 4th. Maybe it should be on the app sometime on the where, right?
It might be, but I'm pretty sure that I just picked a date. Like, it's not like by 4 o'clock. Like, it's a real thing. It's like,
Okay.
you're crazy. I remember last year when everybody was trying to get Curtis to trade Michael Thomas, and he's like, "No, boys, I'm going down with the ship."
I'm going down with the ship.
Yeah.
Well, I learned
Remember all
that
those
from
memes that we
Victor
were sending of like sinking ships and all this other stuff for the rest
Yeah.
of the thing? But I remember me and my wife went shopping at the Barrie Mall for like a winter jacket for myself, and
The
whatever.
Barrie Mall. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just up there, and so I was just on my phone the entire time trying to sneakily send messages, trade offers, counters back and forth, all of this other stuff. It was bananas last year. That's
Okay.
what I remember. This year, I will not be available on Saturday.
No? Oh.
Well, I'm going to Niagara Falls,
Oh.
so I'm going to be with the family, and I'm going to be there. So I will not be able to do the insanity I was doing last year. That's for sure. But
So, okay, no insanity
Can't
offers to
imagine
Nick that day. Okay.
yeah, thank God. I'm barely surviving at this.
So
point.
your trade deadline is really tomorrow.
Well, what I would say is that my trade deadline is still Saturday, but the bantering going crazy back and forth I just won't be able to actually do that. So if I get a notification like you've been made an offer, I'll be like, and I'll send it, but I can't go crazy just because I'll just be too busy.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this fantasy football season is killing me. It's killing me slow.
I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. The next 2 weeks are going to be kind of brutal for you and I.
Hey, listen, this week
For
is
Doug
the most
too.
pivotal week
For a
of the
couple people, for
entire
Johnny,
year.
for Chris, yeah, for everyone.
Listen, one of Chris or
Woo.
Johnny is 100% out.
Yeah.
One of them, and they're playing each other. That's why. So if there's that's a life or death matchup.
Mhm.
Okay, then you've got the matchup against Mister Papa Shango Jared and all of his juju. So if you lose this week, you got to win
Still
one
in
of
it. I'm still
two.
theoretically in it, but it's not good for me if I
Yeah.
lose. Yes.
Well, because one of Chris or Johnny's going to win, so one
Correct.
of them is going
They'll
to
take
get
my spot.
is gonna
Yes.
get 6 wins, right? So if you
But if I win and they lose next week, I still have the kicker in the points. So
that's true, you can rely on that, but it's a dangerous way to go. So you're
Hey.
playing Papa Shango this week, right?
Yeah.
And then next week, if you happen to
I will be the breaker of chains this week, Nicholas.
listen, you can do whatever you want. Okay. All I'm telling you is that man's team humbled me. He scored 195 points and he fucking sent 4 of my guys to injured reserve. Okay. I've never seen it. It's the Temple of Doom. The guy went in, he ripped out my heart, he threw it down into the fiery pit, and he spit on my grave. That's all I know.
Have you cracked 190, 200 points this year?
Yeah, we'd have to go back and check.
Hmm.
We can go back and check.
Maybe one time you cracked 200. I don't know if you did.
I don't know.
I don't know if you're in the 200 club. I'm not sure.
This is what I can tell you. I know that I have more wins than you, so I don't really care about the amount of points. And I have more points scored than you as well.
Just one. And barely points.
It doesn't matter. It's 4.
Listen,
it's 4.
It's going to come back. This is where you're going to lose. And it's I like the dramatic. And so this is where it's going to turn around.
I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is that his team, I still hate it, but I hate it, and it's obviously for real. Like that the guys that he has show up. They've been doing really well. And I think the reason why I hate his team so much is because he's pounded them with just nothing but rookies. But he's got Josh Allen, who just shows up. He's got Devontae Adams, who's as solid and reliable and dominating. And you got Travis Kelce, who he didn't even have last week. Okay. But those guys are all automatic. And then he has a couple of good solid pounders that are sort of half reliable in their running backs. Again, I don't like his team, but they show up and they do collectively. They beat everybody's ass, And so if you don't win this week, next week you've got your JT, Mr. Taylor, number 1 running back in the league that's been saving your bacon. He's off next week, as is Jalen Hurts. You're in trouble. So you got to win this.
Listen, I hear you. I need to win this week. This week, I already beat Jared once prior.
Yeah.
And so, Jared has the least points against him. So I have a lot of points for me. So I'm counting on that.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Look at my projections. I'm at 184 now. 180.
Hey, listen.
I don't know what else I can do.
All I'm saying is that I was beating him in projections last week too, before one single game was played.
Yeah.
Right. And not just this. This is the juju. Okay. Is I took my kids to see the new Ghostbusters movie. Okay. So when I came out of the Ghostbusters movie, I went, oh, wow. Surprisingly, I sort of have a little bit of a chance. Not really, but I was sort of lingering around. It was the 4:00 games. And so by the time I got home and I was just getting the kids ready for bed, it was the end of the 3rd quarter or something around that. And I was projected at 190 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I still had a quarter left of Debo going, Brandon Ayuk going. And I was like, I've actually got a shot. And then within the span of 5 minutes, Dalvin Cook, gone. Debo, gone. And all of a sudden, my 190 projections went all the way down to like 145. It was brutal. It felt like someone disemboweled me last week.
I hear you. It was not fun. These next 2 weeks is not even going to. It's going to be brutal for us, Nick, especially for you.
Brutal. Yeah, it's going to be brutal. Listen, 2 weeks ago, I said all I need to do is win 1 game in the next 4. I'm fine, and I was even fine. This is true of losing last week to Jared. What I was not fine with was losing half of my starting roster to injury for the next 2 weeks, because I was kind of relying on them to get me one of those wins. Yeah. So I'm feeling very, very panicked right now.
I hear you. But you made a trade. So you just made the latest trades, and more trades.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I made the mistake of being a little bit slow in picking up my Alexander Madison about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Okay, and so you got him, so whatever.
Before there was any problem with Dalvin Cook whatsoever, I was just trying to secure my backups. As if you looked at my roster, you could see I was just trying. So I've been trying to whittle Jared away when there was nothing wrong with Dalvin Cook, but Jared, being a smart guy, is like, nah, something's going to happen to Dalvin. I'm going to hold on to him. Plus, his running back sucked, so he
Yeah.
needed to hold on to a lottery ticket. Then, of course, Dalvin goes down, and now Alexander Madison is like,
Dalvin hasn't played a season full.
no, he has.
Has?
Yeah, he was a
He
third.
got hurt last year again,
was-
right? So
Well, no, he was the third overall fantasy scoring running back last year.
okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of these guys, like if you look, everybody gets injured. Like there's not a guy that gets out alive. There just isn't. Like everybody has a game or two or three that are knocked up. That's not really a big deal.
Jonathan
this
Taylor,
year-
cross our fingers.
Yeah, so far, but he's also
Yeah.
in his second year. He's young, right?
It's a beast.
So absolutely. But listen, Ezekiel Elliott, who's playing right now, has essentially been the beast that was never injured, and he's now running around on like one leg or something like that, apparently. So
Yeah.
it happens to them all. It is what it is. Listen, Derrick Henry, it happens to them all. It's not a big deal. So anyway, of course, Jared now has Alexander Madison, much to my chagrin, and I've been desperate. I mean, listen, I offered multiple BJs. He said no. He says, I know you ain't any good at it. I was like, yeah. So it was one of those things, but through my gift of the gab and my yapping and trying to say, like, listen, you've got Alexander.
It's more of a yammering.
Yeah, yammering, like begging, sobbing.
Yeah, it's more of a yammering, not a
I mean, the reality is that Dalvin Cook is supposed to be out for somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 weeks, something like that, which doesn't benefit Jared at all because he can have Alexander Madison, but he's got 2 weeks left of the regular season where he's secured himself a first-round bye in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So really, he doesn't really get the benefit of Alexander Madison until week 4, and by that point, Dalvin Cook is more than likely back. So in return, yeah, CEH and then a draft kicker. I didn't want to have to do it, but I'm desperate. Yeah, desperate.
Oh, what is it, like 5 rounds? So it's not bad.
5 rounds.
How many 20 rounds? How many 20 rounds do you have now? Like 5?
I don't know.
That's gonna be your round. The next round.
I don't know, man. Listen. I don't know.
That's where we just I'm like this. Okay, we're out. Let's just like Nick have the 20th round.
Listen, this is not a Nick Johnson only rant. Okay, let's be fair about this.
You sure?
But no, well, I'm here, so I'm going to rant about me. But understand that I'm not proclaiming myself to be different than a lot of guys, right? We obviously know the Doug thing with Kareem Hunt and Derrick Henry and everything else. But for me, and I was saying this to you before, my first rounder is Dalvin Cook. He's been out for 6-7 games.
Mhm.
Essentially, he's been banged up all year. Hasn't really been himself. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but he's been out. Then my number 2 guy went on mental health leave and checked himself into, I don't know, Shady Acres for the criminally insane or something. So he's been gone all year.
Yeah.
And then DeAndre Hopkins has now been out for 4 or 5 weeks with a hamstring. So my top end talent has really been thinned out and very underlooked. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not a real super complaint. Understand this, but it's just the reality of it. It's like
I have injuries too, man. I'm like,
yeah, but it doesn't. Listen. You've had injuries. I'll give you Montgomery. You cannot claim guys that you drafted.
Montgomery.
No. You cannot claim guys that you knew that were injured when you drafted them and hoped that they were coming back and being healthy 6 weeks from now. You can't claim those as like, no, because you didn't draft healthy guys. You drafted guys that you were hoping became what they were 3 years ago. That's what you did. And you failed. You failed royally. That's just it. You gambled and you lost. You went to the roulette table and you lost. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I'm going to roulette. It looks like Barkley's going to have more points than CMC this year. He's catching up. I told you, remember, we had this little bet. He was going to have more points. Watch. Barkley's going to catch up and going to have more points. By the end
again, in your own little perspective,
it's gonna happen.
Little world. I think you should
go
with Calvin Ridley to Shady Acres and check yourself in for an assessment because you're nuts.
You're nuts. It's going to happen. That one's actually going to happen.
Listen,
Barkley will have actually a good game against Miami.
It doesn't matter. You can't rely on him. He's not doing anything for you. I would rather have CMC out on injured reserve and me figure out something than try and rely on Saquon Barkley for his 3 yards a carry. Hoping
he had a 28 game, man. So listen, he'll bust out. He had a game.
He's had a game. This is
we'll have a couple games. This was just a separate injury from his other injury that you have.
I'm
Don't worry
not going to
about it. He's
argue
just
with
healing up.
Saquon Barkley anymore.
Getting ready for the second half.
I'm
Third
not
half.
arguing. Listen, he has got a 3-yard per carry average.
Don't worry about
Okay,
it. They just changed offensive
I'm
coordinators,
not
I
worried
heard.
about it. He stinks.
Oh, don't
I'm
worry.
done.
They're
Listen,
just
we had
changing the offense just for this guy.
Oh my God.
So,
Boys, everyone out there, just understand that this is the human being that you're dealing with when he's trying to sell you on like.
me? I haven't sold Barkley. I'm actually trying to keep Barkley.
Yeah. Now you are.
I think I tried trade him once,
Uh-huh.
maybe, but nothing major. I'm actually trying to trade all the other guys, but Barkley, I
Uh-huh.
really want to keep.
Okay.
The push in your face. You'll see.
He's almost like CMC. He's like the same.
But no, but he's actually going to get more points this year. So that's just the reality. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, okay, moving on. I can't anymore.
Trades
like
and more trades.
It's like arguing with a schizophrenic. I mean, okay, okay, agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. Now, do you think Ted DiBiase, aka Mike, is going to make more trades now?
Mike's going wild. Listen, Mike, listen, I like.
He has 3 more days. Let's see what he can do.
Listen, he is trying. I think this is the belt that he's going for. Okay, he's trying to out waiver wire me. Okay, and I don't like it because generally speaking, year over year, I am the crazy person that picks up way too many guys.
Yeah, you're the one who's there at 4:02 in the morning and waiting.
Well,
you want to burn your number one pick. You're like this. I'm not going to burn my pick.
No,
I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wake up at 3:59.
No.
Go pick up my pick.
I'm up because I'm working out. I care about my physical.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, listen, my body is my temple. This is the reality. I don't wake up to do waivers. I wake up to work out. Okay.
I'm going to say waivers over workout.
Well, you can say it, but that's not true. I wouldn't.
Well, that is true because I can actually see it on the waiver wire. Pating, pating. 4:00 in the morning. That's waiver. So like,
in
for me, that's waiver. It's not workout. It's waivers.
Yeah, in between my sets.
Oh, in between your sets. Okay.
I am not that crazy. There is no chance I would wake up.
No, you're crazy, Nick. You're crazy. Yeah.
So right now, Rizzy has got me beat 84 to 82. I can't believe it.
Trades or waiver wires?
Like waiver moves, like moves.
Oh, waiver moves. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not surprised. He's going bananas, man. He wants to take the crown. He wants to take the crown as GM of the year, like mover and shaker award, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's moving and he's shaking for sure, right? So, I mean, I don't know. It'll be very interesting. I don't know what else Rizzy hasn't, but I mean, don't doubt Risky Rizzy can always pull his head out, but I don't know what moves he has to make given his assets, right? Like,
Swift was his move, but he
but he's injured. So he's out for the next 2 weeks. So at the very least, right? So at this point, anybody that's fighting for a playoff position, Swift is not going to help you. And for the 2 guys that are already locked in, and Curtis really is locked in too. I mean, in fairness, like Curtis, he may not have
playoffs.
Yeah.
You're talking about playoffs? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah,
so you have Curtis. So he's not mathematically locked in, but in reality, he's locked in. So
yeah, he's fine. I don't think he's not going to do the Curtis slide like Doug.
No, but he's getting Chase Edmonds back next week. He's got Leonard Fournette and Austin Eckler in back-to-back weeks have both scored 4 freaking touchdowns. Like, give me a friggin' break. I can't even believe it. But so he's pretty locked in, right? And I can't imagine Curtis saying, "Yeah, I'll take a chance on DeAndre Swift and here's a something." But
making a trade, yeah.
I can't imagine it. Is what I'm saying. And then Jared and Taylor, their teams are loaded. So, like, I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine. Anyway.
Maybe just a diddling, just a little bit here and there, like what Jared just did, like with you, like he just picked up a little thing for
playoffs. But you're not going to pick up a little thing if you're trying to get Swift or something like that, right? Like Mike.
No, but still something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's more of one of those things where I don't know what Mike has left, but hey, he could have something left. I mean, he's now examining his roster for potentially next year as well as his draft picks. I know that. And so I think he's trying to figure out what his next step is, whether he tries to do something this year or whether he tries to do something next year.
Well, he wants to be Doug. He wants to be the spoiler. That's what he wants to do. He's trying to make.
I'd like him to be Doug too.
We all need him to be Doug. Like, I'm sorry, Doug, but we need you to lose.
Listen, if I was in any kind of a position, which I am not, but if I was in any kind of position, I would have trade him a couple guys that I think would do okay to just take on Doug, just to knock him down a little bit. Because Doug's now, again, it's fun to watch this losing streak. I mean, it's crazy, but
Whew.
it's one of those things where right now he's, even despite the losing streak, he's sitting there in nice prime 4th position, and he's getting Kareem Hunt back next week.
Yeah.
I think there's some good in and outs or something like that we could look at. But I mean, he's, if he loses the next 2 weeks, he actually might be out of the playoffs, which is crazy. So
Yeah, I know. Like if he loses this week, he's still in. But if he loses the next week, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, listen, it's the pants are getting a little tight around the Cajones, is what I'm saying for a lot of guys. Like, you got Chris and Johnny. It's you win or you're out this week.
Death match. It's a death match.
Listen, I don't know what Chris is doing right now. I'm sure he's trying to wear his
He's yanking
Panthers hat, but I know he's going wild. Listen, I'm playing Chris next week. I guarantee you, I'm not talking to that person I'm not offering him any lineup advice. I'm not talking him off of ledges. I'm going to be quite happy to let him just whirl himself into a little emotional derby.
No, I hear you.
I don't win this week.
No, same thing. Chris wanted a QB off of me. I think he was, and couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I'm a competition, homie. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of, unfortunately, that's what it's become, right? Like, it's one of these things where it's getting so tight. I'm on some level regretting offering him advice because you know what I mean. Because you want some of these guys to unfortunately drop away. Because just from a competition standpoint, obviously it's fun that it's so tight and it's going to be crazy. But I mean, I certainly don't want to lose 4 games and be out of the playoffs to finish off the season, because I'll never hear the end of it from you. And that's just not worth it to me.
No, I hear you. We're going to have the 1 week of silent after, just before the playoffs, because it's all business.
Yeah. I mean, listen, here's the reality. There's 2 dominant teams this year. 2, right? And we can't count Doug's first half of the year. There's 2 dominant teams, and that's Taylor and Jared. I think Jared's on an 8-game winning streak or something like that, and Taylor's on a 6.
Well, he just broke the record with you, 7. So now he's 8. Yeah. So now I gotta.
They're not chintzy things. Like, the last 2 weeks, I've scored enough points to beat half of the league. Okay, I just haven't scored enough points, even close, to beat 210 and 195. Both of those guys are rocking. Their teams are rocking. And so those guys are definitely the guys to beat. You might be catching Jared on a good time, though, because he's got Josh Jacobs a little bit banged up, James Robinson a little bit banged up. Oh, Curtis has got CD Lamb. I'm seeing him go wild right before the end zone. Thank you. Oh, ha.
I still got nothing from Parsons.
Oh my God. I'm just, look, 5 points. Oh, he's got Dwight Schultz too. This is not good. We should definitely never do this live streaming during the game again. Just don't throw it to CD Lamb anymore, please.
Let's get a touchdown here. At least we can kind of show it a little bit live. Anything? Who's doing hot right now? Nothing. Just Johnny, right? Johnny has 4 points. Prescott.
I don't know.
He's in the red zone right now, right? Or he's right there, right?
I don't know. Well,
let's see what I can kind of do. Oh my God! Look, let's see what we got there.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Look at that! Look at that! Whoa!
Oh, is that Gallup? Did he get it?
Yeah, right there on the one.
Oh, he got it. Gallup got it. That's Rizzy. That's Risky Rizzy gets the Gallup touchdown.
Did he?
Yeah.
No, he got stopped, didn't he?
Nope. He's in. Both feet are in. Gallup's got it. He's trying to push Doug. So I don't know if Rizzy's watching or what he's doing, but there you go, Rizzy. So you got a touchdown from Gallup. That's a good place to start.
Oh, I guess I'm just watching it late. I'm like this. What are you talking about? And there it is. There it is. Okay.
Yeah. We should definitely move forward. Otherwise, we'll get stuck because I'll just start watching.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, we're just watching the game. Guys, do you guys watch that?
Listen, if I would really like it if one of Curtis's players doesn't get 3 or 4 freaking touchdowns this week, because those things are just.
I hope he hammers you down.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do.
I need him to. He's in 3rd. He has a spot. Congratulations, Curtis.
Listen, all I want to see, okay, is I want you to feel the demoralizing, experience that I had with Jared last week, where he was projected, I think, to have like 180 points or 175, something like that. I was 5 points up on him in projections to start the week. And he just kept rising above the expectations and rising above. I was like, when is this going to stop? Like, this is
stop with me.
no. Last week. So I just want his guys to all show up and completely dominate. That's it. I want Josh Allen to throw 400 touchdowns to Stefan Diggs, right? I want Curtis to throw his Kyler Murray to throw all his touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins. I'd like a nice breathing. Actually, come to think of it, the only dominating win that comes to mind is my game against you.
What, the first week of the season?
No, like 3 weeks ago.
That's
the one where I just crushed your soul. Like, the game was what I'm saying.
My soul. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, listen, you've been barely making it. You're on life support since then. But
injuries.
But that matchup was done prior to the Sunday night game, realistically.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about games where I'm just like, I'm not life or death. Like, my matchup was officially done when Lamar went out and had the worst fantasy game of his entire life and threw 4 touchdowns. So my game officially ended on Sunday. I mean, it was on extreme life support, but it officially ended on Sunday night. I just, it's nice to just get those nice clear-cut wins.
Okay.
I just haven't had a lot of them.
Yeah, it's not going to happen again this week. So
no, it won't probably.
Okay.
It's not the way it's going to be.
So again, trade deadline is Saturday.
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 You
know, any updates? Anyone's going to make any trades? Anything?
I have no idea. I mean, listen, I just made a trade. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made a trade yesterday. So, I mean, I don't know who's making trades. I'm assuming you're trying. I cannot
confirm or deny that.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny that either. I'm just assuming.
Risky. I say Risky is probably going to make one more.
Well, he's probably going to try. I just have no idea what it's going to be. So it really just depends.
I would say Johnny or Chris has to make a move. So do or die, right? So
what's he going to do? What are they going to do?
I don't know. Do something, guys. Come on, just throw everything. Come on.
Yeah, but who are they going to trade with? But who are
Risky? I don't know.
Yeah, but what are they going to pick up? What are they going to pick him up though? What are they going to pick up from Rizzy that's worth anything? That's
defensive players. Maybe is there a defensive player? Maybe I don't know. Maybe kicker. Mike has wicked kickers.
He's got wicked
kickers.
Listen, I can tell you
that guy knows kickers
through personal experience. I think Nick Folk is on the market. I think he's willing to unload him for whatever.
Hey man, I'll tell you, man.
My guess would be if there's anybody to go after, it would be Kevin, right? I mean, Tyreek Hill is probably untouchable, I would imagine, right?
Well, it's his keeper. That's going to be the keeper.
Yeah. So, but anybody else, I'm imagining is open for stuff. I don't know what he has offhand, but you have to contact him. But that's the thing is what I would say is, in my experience as a supremely awesome, by the sheer amount, not by quality of trades, but by the sheer amount of trades, is you just have to make sure you're engaging them via text message and not just by submitting a Yahoo trade offer. If you want to try and expedite and get things done, that's all I would say. So if you guys are looking out there to make any trades, set things up for next year, whatever the case is, I mean, you got 4 days to do it, or 3 days. 3 days. 3 days, I guess technically.
3 days.
Two. It's Thursday night right now, so I guess you got Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you want to add in?
No, I'm honestly listen, the Madison trade that Jared made for me, it stabilized me a little bit. I was losing my trees yesterday. I honestly, I couldn't. I was looking. I'm going. I don't know who I'm going to start. It's like Henderson's questionable. Sanders is questionable.
Henderson's going to go down. I'm letting you know right now. I'm having something in my head. Henderson's going to go down. I'm just letting you know. I have a feeling.
He could, but
it's just time. He hasn't played. This is craziness.
Listen, I hear you. I'm just simply saying that prior to getting Madison, I was like, I don't know who I'm starting. I don't have great matchups this week.
Michael, pick up Sonny Michel quickly. I know.
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. But I've got I burned my number one waiver pickup for
player that you already had from before.
Yeah. But I mean, because he's going to be starting It's
Yeah.
not. It's a favorable matchup.
Yep.
So listen. I need to win again. One of the
Not
next
going to win. I'm
two.
sorry. That trade made you a little bit better, but sorry, Curtis is going to take you this. I don't even need to do the matchups. Curtis
Are we
got
doing
you
the
covered.
matchups? Should we do the matchups?
No, the match that's on Sunday. I thought already. We'll do it.
I mean,
on
not Sunday. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Another podcast?
Yeah, Sunday. What I do? This is just.
Or are we really? This is not the.
This
This
just,
is not
no,
the
it's just a trade special and deadline special thing. I'm gonna do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see this. I'm not even being.
Yeah,
made
yeah,
aware.
yeah. I got this is like a 30 minutes, and hey.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dunzo.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So as of right now, then, since we're just doing a quick thing, so what I would say again is, as long as you're in it, then obviously you're subject to the waiver wire, right? You just do your waiver wire things as we've talked about before. I would say now I would say that if you get eliminated, just don't start dropping a bunch of useful players to just leave them for like we want to keep things competitive and interesting for everybody, you know what I mean? And not just be this free for all sort of garbage schlock fest thing and everything else, right?
Hey, we're cool guys. No worries. We're not those
No,
kind
no,
of guys. We're not those seedy kind of guys. Hey, we got rid of those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Last year.
If I say it out loud, it's like maybe like listen, there was was it 2 years ago or last year? Last year, I think it was last year. Last year, I accidentally made the finals of the playoffs be in week 17. I think was that last year or the year before? Anyway,
I think it was last year where we had where
it was a mistake.
starters.
It was a mistake. Yeah. So I felt really bad, and I started dropping all of my players because I was out. No, it wasn't last year. It would have been the year before that.
Okay.
I started dropping all of my players because I felt so bad for making that mistake that I just wanted to give the guys that were competing an option to have players that could actually.
Santa Nicholas. There he is. Oh, Santa Nicholas.
Yeah. Well, I have a moment. Every once in a while, I try to be a little bit of a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try. I just have no North Star for what that actually means.
You have no empathy. That's what you really
No, I really don't. So but I try, but I do try a little bit.
You're a visual guy. That's what you need. You need signs, visual.
I need someone to tell me what's right.
I think we all need these things. Anyways. Okay. That was fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else to say? Nothing?
No. No more CD Lamb throws or Dalton Schultz. Okay. Let's just run it to Tony Pollard. I don't have him in this league. I got him in my other one. I need him. I need Tony Pollard this week. That's it. That's all I got. I'm trying to send out some positive juju. This season has been a wild ride, my friend. I'm barely surviving right now.
Yeah.
If one of Curtis's players has like a 4 touchdown game this week, I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
I can't wait. I have the memes ready for it.
Listen, you're going up against Papa Shango. I'm going to enjoy this.
Is he Papa Shango? I thought he was Andre the Giant. I literally
you did that, but until you experience the Papa Shango, okay, where you go, I don't know what's happening right now, but for me, listen, it started on Thursday on the Thanksgiving games where my Perryman linebacker, who's never had anything less than like 9 points in a week, comes up with like 4.5. Okay. Like he can't tackle someone to save his life. And you go, oh, okay. Like you feel a little tickling on your toes, like there's something going on there. And then all of a sudden you just start to see all of your guys go down within the span of 5 minutes. When you start to get close, you go, oh, there's something real going on here. I'm just saying, you're going to feel it, buddy.
I'm not going to feel it because I have it. I put it on. I put the shield on.
I hear you.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, boys.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. See you, bye.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Banter Brothers with your host, Brian Paulo, and his co-host, Nick Johnson. Make sure you tune in each and every week where they'll be ripping up the airwaves, delivering you the fantasy football highlights. Again, this is